Hi, this is Alex from Groovy Entertainment. Today, we got another movie collection video to do. Today, I'm going to talk about my James Bond collection. Now, I'm missing four movies at this collection, but this is the bulk of it. So let's begin. The first one out of the first James Bond movie, Doctor No, from 1962. This is the first Sean Connery film too. This had a lot of action in this one. Our next James Bond film, From Russia from Love, from 1963. Now this movie had some action in the beginning, had a lot of slow part in the middle, then it came back to action at the end. And this is Sean Connery's second film. This is Goldfinger from 1964. Now this was the best of the James Bond. This was fast paced and had action all through the film. And this is Sean Connery's third film. Thunderball from 1965. Now this was a long movie. I think this was the first 2 hour James Bond film, and this had mixed. It had action and some slow parts. This is Casino Royale from 1967. Now this is a comedy James Bond film, but I still count this as a James Bond because it had everything you could think of in the James Bond film in the comedy film. And this was long too. This was almost 3 hours long. Now go back. Now this is the last of Sean Connery James Bond for the '60s. This is You Only Live Twice. This is from '67, and this is a good film. Got it got kung fu, got a lot of explosions and stuff. Now we go to a new James Bond from 1969. This is On Your Majesty's Secret Service with George Lazenby, and this is the second love story of the James Bond series. It was pretty good. It had action. It slowed down a lot, and it had more action. And this is the first time you see James Bond get married in this one. And this was a 2 hour and a half film too. Now this is Sean Connery comeback for the first time since he left that '67 film. This is Diamond Are Forever from 1971, and this one he comes back for revenge for the big boss killing his wife. This is a pretty good, fast-paced movie. And this is the second time we see Blofeld. We saw him in You Only Live Twice, and we heard his voice in for Russia for Love. Now, our second new James Bond. This is Roger Moore in Live and Let Die from 1973, and this is a real good movie. This came out during the Black '70s movies, so this kind of was like one, but less violent. It had a good soundtrack. This one did. Our second Roger Moore film, The Man with the Golden Gun. This is from 1974. And this had Kung Fu in it too. And this had car chasing and everything you could think of. And this had Christopher Lee in it. Our next one, The Spy Who Loved Me, Roger Moore third picture. Now this was the third kind of love story in the James Bond collection. This is from 1977. And this had a nice a nice disco James Bond theme song. And this is the only time you get to hear the James Bond theme song in disco form. They didn't do it no more in all the other 70 movies. Then this is Roger Moore and Moonraker from '79. Now this was a real good movie. This is the first time we see Bond going to space. And it was they were trying to cash in on Star Wars, and I think Battlestar too. The Star Wars Battlestar came out before this did. Roger Moore comes into the '80s with For Your Eyes Only from 1981. Now in this one, James Bond gets revenge on the big boss Blofeld for killing his wife, and he kills Blofeld in this one. This is Blofeld's last movie. Now, Octopussy from 1983, Roger Moore. Now we got this one, You Only Live Twice from 1983 of Sean Connery. This is a remake of Thunderball, but these two films were at the theater at the same time, and they both were #1 movies at the same time. And this was Sean Connery's very final film of the James Bond. But this was kind of not part of the James Bond collection or the James Bond series. But he was #1 at the theater again. This is from the '80s. They both came out in '83. Now, Roger Moore's last movie of the James Bond was A View to a Kill from 1985, and this was the last of the Moneypenny 2. So we don't see Moneypenny or Roger Moore again in the James Bond series. And this had a lot of action. I think this was the most violent James Bond movie to come in this year. And it had a nice soundtrack and everything. Yeah, Duran Duran did the soundtrack, so that was good. Our new James Bond, uh, Timothy Dalton, The Living Daylight from 1987. Now this movie had a new James Bond soundtrack. It was more up. It was more upbeat, and it had and it had like a rap sound beat to it. And this was his first film. He only did 2 movies. This guy did. This is his second one, License to Kill, Timothy Dalton or Timothy Dalton from 1989. Now this was the second in the Dusty movie. This is the second violent James Bond film in the series. And I'm thinking he got tired of doing the James Bonds. So this is his last film. Now we come into the now we go into the '90s with Prince Bronson with Goldeneye from 1995. Now this was an okay James Bond. Wasn't too crazy about him being James Bond, but when you get done watching the old James Bond, it gets kind of hard trying to see James Bond in the '90s with another person that you never heard of. And no, that's the same one. Now this is Prince Bronson's second movie, Tomorrow Never Dies, from '97. This was okay. I only seen it once. It was kind of boring to me. I seen half of it. This is his third one. The Water is Not Enough. Prince Bronson's third James Bond movie from 1999. This was okay. I seen it one time. I just bought it. I seen it one time, and I waited till it got to $3.99 so I could have it in my collection. I didn't open it or nothing. I had no intention of watching it. Now we go to the new James Bond. Now I don't got the first movie of his, but this is I don't know. This is this one, Skyfall, with Daniel Craig, and this is 2012. And then I got this one, the next one after this one, for this one, Quantum. However, this is Daniel Craig next movie from 2000. Okay, so this came first. This is 2008, and then this came next, 2012. Okay, that makes sense. I never seen neither of these films, and I think he did Casino Royale. That came out before this one. Before this one did. This the back one. I never seen neither of his movies, so I can't tell you how they are or what they are. So that's my James Bond collection. So please like and subscribe and have a groovy day. And I'll have another episode coming out real soon.